3 house guests have already been eliminated, 2 were evicted, and 1 was just fake news. As drama mounts in the celebrity Big Brother house, will a new breaking news twist derail these house guests from making a big move? We'll find out soon enough. But first, welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Celebrity Big Brother After Show.
You're tuned in to AfterBuzz TV, the ESPN of TV talk. Now, let the buzz begin.
I'm something like Ryan Lochte.
We should have all been wearing Speedos tonight.
I really don't know what to do with my hands.
I know, are we swimming?
I am wearing a Speedo.
Or a seal or something.
I am wearing a Speedo.
If you guys are hearing these words, it's Ryan Lochte.
Yeah.
Good evening, guys. I'm Bryce McLeay. Welcome to AfterBuzz TV's Celebrity Big Brother After Show. 9 celebrities remain in the house, and we still have so many questions. What is the fallout from the Mooch twist? What else? Who took Jonathan Bennett's blindside the hardest?
Is drinking coffee fun?
Yeah.
Yes.
And how will this latest eviction impact the game as a whole? You guys, there's just too many things going
Questions
on.
that need answers.
Yes, and we'll find out soon enough. But first, let me introduce my alliance members, starting with Morgan Willett.
Oh, thanks, Bryce. Guys, we need an alliance name, first of all.
We do need an alliance
I
name.
have one.
Oh,
she's ready.
God,
should have been thinking about this.
Hashtag BB Squad. Boom.
BB Squad.
I already like it.
But
I like it.
we keep the hashtag. Like,
Yeah,
that's
but
what we
it
would
must
say.
be-
Because you
Yeah.
guys have to use that hashtag when you message and tweet us. You see how
I'm
that
on
works?
board.
So,
I'm
all right,
board.
so as a
I'm
member
board.
of hashtag BB Squad, I'm Morgan Willett and so excited to talk about tonight. I might shed a tear. That's all I'm going to say.
A tear? Oh,
A tear,
no.
guys. I'm emotional about
Morgan.
tonight's episode.
Yeah,
Jessica.
I, however, am not emotional. I'm a little excited, but we will pour one out for the homie. What's up, guys? I'm Jessica Williams, and we are so excited to have you guys. Who's
And
over here?
This
is sexy man.
I'm the biggest piece of fake news on this panel. I am Charles Conoly, and you can blame me for that intro song. You can either blame me or thank me. I'll take
I think
both.
it's a big resounding thanks.
Wait,
Thank
Charles,
you.
I just
You're
want to know
welcome.
where you discovered the song and why you were Googling Ryan Lochte
What
music.
sort of
That's good.
time warp were you?
Okay,
Wormhole.
after this episode, I went into my bathroom. I lit a candle. I went into the empty
I really thought this
bathtub,
was going somewhere else. But anyway,
Not in the
continue,
bathroom.
please.
and I decided to really mourn the happenings of this episode, whatever they may be. And the first thing that I did was decide to put on some tunes, which led me to searching Ryan Lochte on my music app. And it led me to that piece of art, which I decided to share with the world.
Yes.
That's deep.
Yeah.
That is
And
Did
one
you
really
meditate? You should have meditated on it a little bit.
Oh,
think.
I absolutely meditated on it. I
Okay.
meditate before every show.
Yes, perfect.
Oh,
So good to know.
look at that.
All right, before we get started, our producer Roxy Starr came up with a new segment for us called "What Would Morgan Do?"
Yes.
And we here at the BB Squad think it's brilliant.
Yes.
Nice. No pressure.
So this consists of Morgan, a former BB winner,
Yeah.
and what she would do in the shoes of a current house guest. Find out what she says later. But you know what else is something you guys should do? You guys should subscribe to AfterBuzz TV.
You know,
do you guys
Bryce,
see how that
Such a
transition
good
works?
idea.
Oh, wow. You know, it's
Do you
so
think
funny.
don't you think that's a great
Genius.
idea?
I think it's a good
Genius.
idea.
Yeah.
Oh my God, he's so smart.
Like Bryce was saying, we get a lot of great ideas from our producers here at AfterBuzz TV, and that's because AfterBuzz TV really provides us with a lot of great ideas and a lot of great content because they're the ESPN of TV talk. So before we get into this amazing episode of Big Brother, you need to make sure you subscribe on YouTube,
Yes.
give us ratings on iTunes, and leave us a comment. And since you're here, AfterBuzz is probably special to you. It's special to me because I'm fairly new to Los Angeles, and whenever I came here, I really wanted to get into a community of people who had like-minded interests like me, and this community is the best of the best. So thank you all for supporting
Aw.
what we do
That's so nice.
and
That's very
letting
nice.
us do what we love.
Charles, I'm
love
touched.
That was great.
I'm feeling a little flushed from
Yeah.
being so warm and friendly.
But the best thing about what he said is that you guys can join our conversation.
Yeah.
Yes,
And you know how?
should.
Join the community.
By watching us live and on our YouTube channel, you can actually join the conversation by typing in the little chat box next to it. So you just go to AfterBuzz TV competitions on YouTube. Enjoy now. We see you.
And
We give you
Hey,
shout
Austin.
outs.
What's
Yeah.
up, Joseph?
Yes,
we see you.
And whenever you experience shows, I just want to keep talking about it. Whenever you experience shows like this, like Big Brother or other shows that I like Real Housewives, I don't want them to end when the shows end. And this is a way for the shows not to end after the final scene. So
Absolutely.
Yes.
I
No,
love
that's
it.
great.
Wow.
Okay, let's.
Yes.
All right, let's get into
Thanks for
Celebrity
joining.
Big
Good
Brother.
night.
Yeah, thank you. We'll talk to you later. All right, so Kato wins the HOH. The last we saw was Jonathan leaving the house. Well, I guess no, we saw a little bit. That was kind of the last thing we were talking about. But so Kato wins the HOH comp. We were curious as like who was going to win, and he nominates Dina and Tamar. And then, came the waterworks. So I want to know, can somebody explain to me why he nominated these two? I mean, his answers, he said that he nominated Tamar because he slipped on some shrimp in the kitchen.
See, I understand why he might have wanted these two women. I think Tamar causes a lot of kind of drama and issues in the house, so I can see him wanting that. And I think Dina's kind of just like a wallflower. She
Yeah.
doesn't do a lot. So those are easy options for him to nominate. His issue was, I'm sorry, I'm not Team Kato. I think he is dumber than a rock. No offense to Kato's family. If you're by chance watching this,
Or Kato.
or Kato, if by chance you're also watching this at some point,
All offense to Kato.
Or O.J. Simpson, who would probably agree with you.
or OJ, if you're also watching this, that's weird. But no, my thing is if you need a scapegoat or something, just say so and just be like, you're a strong competitor.
Right.
Flatter their
Right.
ego. You're not gonna like ruffle any feathers with
Right.
that. Never bring up someone's kid. That's just not a good idea ever in Big Brother to do that. And I'm sorry, an excuse of like not cleaning, I'm just like, you're so
Yeah.
dumb for that. And then the whole Dina thing, it's like, was she ever really against him in that competition? Because to me, it didn't come across as
No.
that. So
No.
then I'm just like, you're just really reaching on that one. I think Kato completely screwed up this HOH.
Yeah.
Totally agree, and you're gonna love one of my power of tweetos later off of what you just
great.
said. Okay, so y'all better stay tuned. I completely agree. Number one, it was so established from the beginning when Ryan was in the kitchen and they were discussing who cleans and who cooks, and they all were in agreement. They're like, okay, well, if you cook, then you shouldn't have to clean.
Yes.
That was in the show, or was it? Or maybe it was during After Dark.
I've heard that rule
That's
before.
just a universal
Yeah,
rule.
that's like a
But
thing that
it was
everyone.
it was so like clear that you all were in that conversation. So that's such a cop out because Tamar can throw down in the kitchen. I'm sure you're enjoying her food. I understand. I'm a little OCD too, so I get the cleanliness, but just clean a lot. And the Big Brother house, I assume, is just dirty all the time anyway, which is why I never go
it's
into the house.
disgusting at all
Exactly.
times.
This
Yeah.
is why
It's never
I-
going to be clean, so just go ahead and get over that.
Yeah. Unless, wait, who was it last season who cleaned it? Oh, unless you have Sam in the house cleaning all the time.
Oh, yeah.
Remember how
So
much she
Kato
cleaned?
is a new Sam. And Dina, listen, I'm fine with her going on the block, honestly. She's just kind of a stone in the
Yeah.
house, But there's bigger fish to fry, which he ended up
Frying.
grilling it up, and that was good. But,
Whenever Kato nominated Dina and Tamar, I was a little confused too, but I think his justification for nominating Dina, he had already established with whoever he was aligned with that he wasn't pleased at the fact that she was saying, no, compete against Kato, like beat Kato. So I think he just wanted to get it out there, like, if I have a problem with somebody, I'm just going to be straightforward and like put her on the block or whatever. But then he did make sure to go in after and build trust with her and say, you need to trust me. I know what I'm doing. You're
True.
safe. So
Yeah.
he used it as an opportunity to say, like, I know I put you on the block, but this is me going to you and saying, just trust me. And he followed through with that later on in the
I
show.
agree with that statement, but at the same time, he could have easily, like, she was a vote for him. She was, he could have easily, reeled her in, but instead he freaked out after that competition, and instead of just going to her.
I was a little bit perplexed by that too.
like, literally
Yeah.
just go
he
to
made something
her.
out of nothing.
Yeah.
Yes, it totally
Exactly.
was.
All he had to do was be like, hey, like, what was this misunderstanding, blah, 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 and then he could have had her on his side this week to do something else, but instead
But
he just freaked out. So
Playing
whatever.
devil's advocate, he was very smart to pick up on that because
True.
clearly, if he's saying jump off, and she's like, "No, stay," she kind of, it was kind of like word vomit. No, stay, everyone, and then she's like, "Everyone, just stay, just stay as long as you can." It was like, okay, way to save that.
Well, here's what I think. Because Kato, because I had the same feeling. I was like, why wouldn't he just go to Dina and be like, hey, guess what? You're going up as a pawn. I just want to
Right.
make sure that we're not. I don't want people to think that we're working together. However, that being said, the fact that he got such a reaction from her, and then he knew that he could walk it back. Like there would not be people. You could not do that to Tamar. You could
Yeah.
not probably do that to Candy.
I know.
You could
Right.
probably not do that
Oh,
to.
you would definitely
to
not do
like
that to Candy.
you probably couldn't do that to why can't I think
Lolo.
Lolo for
Lolo.
sure.
Right,
But
yeah.
but because he already has established like a relationship with Dina, I think that the fact that she was so upset and everybody saw how upset she was, that allowed him to go in and be like, hey, guess what? Nothing's really happening.
Yeah.
And then again, it's a gamble because we'll see later. I don't want to spoil it quite yet, but you'll see that it played out for him pretty well.
Yeah,
Right.
and he kind of like. It is true that anybody else in that house, if he would have put them up as a pawn, they would have blown up on him.
Yeah.
So he could have said something like, hey, Dina, you're the only one I trust enough not to blow up on me, and I think you have the most level head in this house, and you're the only one I can approach to say that I know what I'm doing and you're good. Anyone else would blow up on me, but you, no.
That word pawn hasn't really been used.
They don't
during
know
this
the
season. I know they don't know the
Yeah, I don't think
terminology.
I don't think anyone knows what it means.
Everyone's a pawn. You're a
know.
pawn.
Yeah.
And Joey at
But
the
they
end's
just
like,
don't
well, I'll
use
be
it.
your pawn. I'm
I'll be
like,
your
Joey.
pawn.
You're not using
my
the words
God.
right. But I will say one thing about Kato. I do respect his honesty. Always I respect someone. Even when Ryan and the Joey had approached
The
him.
kitchen.
Yeah, and just like, hey, we're going to put this up. He was honest in that combo. So you have to respect that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I mean, whatever.
It was the
we
right
can-
people to approach him. Like, Johnny and Ryan were pretty laid back.
Well, and we can
Yeah.
discuss this. It's not that big of a deal. But what to me is what's interesting to what you say is like, I don't get. You know, he tells Tamar that he's putting her up on the block because he slipped on some shrimp. I still, first of all, can't get over that. Second of all, is he? You know, is it attacked? Is he doing that on purpose? Because he really doesn't have he almost like stabs you in the front and in the back kind of thing. It's kind of like, you know, so I can't really get a read on him.
You know, I think the reason behind the whole cleaning thing, whenever he nominated Tamar, I think that he was just generally annoyed with her presence, and he wanted to make it a little bit more specific. He wanted to make it seem like he really had no reason to nominate anybody, so he was just kind of grabbing at straws, like, I mean, you're just kind of messy. Like, at this point, I really don't have a problem with you. Like, that's the one reason.
Still a
And
cop-out.
the slip on the
Right.
shrimp thing was like like an anecdote he just wanted to add in there to like
Right.
prove his point, but it just came off weird.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, all right. I want to talk about Tamar because she was not happy about it being nominated.
Oh, not at
all.
Understatement of the night.
So, I talked to I can't even say her name.
Brandy.
I talked to Brandy Glanville tonight at my other job.
Yes.
And she said something very interesting, and I wanted to get your guys' opinion on it. So she thinks that Tamar is doing a lot of this being loud and kind of this like fight then love thing, it's all strategy. It's all tact. And I
If
just
it
want to
is,
know.
I want her to win this whole damn game.
I just want to know if you guys think that's true. Like, and the fact that she went after Kato and like getting things in his head, like, you're sexist, you're this, you're that. Is this all attacked, or is it, is she just playing emotionally? Because I have a lot to say about that as well. But
I want it to be true. I think it would be brilliant if that was. I don't think that's the case, because I think if it was, she'd be in the DR saying, here's what I'm doing this week. I'm going to
Justifying it.
blow up and this, and they'd be airing it so we can understand.
True.
And the fact that they're
Very
not,
true.
I just think she is a very emotional person, which I love. It is fantastic TV. Like, her hanging on the veto, like the wall,
Yeah.
and she couldn't jump off was my favorite moment of
Yes.
this whole entire season.
Yes.
So I love her.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, being someone, like I said last show, that has watched Tamar Braxton on reality TV for over 10 years, I will say that she is highly emotional, she's highly sensitive, and she does get offended by things. It's the Pisces in her. Unfortunately, I fear that it's to her detriment, because so many people can take so much of it, and it's so easy in the Big Brother house. We have seen time after time for people to label those individuals as, oh my God, they're so problematic. Oh my God, they're just so annoying. Peace will be in the house if we get them out. And I'm just like, no, just be quiet like some of the times, only because I feel that she's so strong in this game because of how much she knows about it coming into it, and she picks up on things. But I just need for her to stop getting into feuds with her own alliance members.
Yeah.
Fine, go off on, whomever.
I think that's a note they should all take, by the way.
Stop.
Just use, I just want her to use more strategy and get out of her feelings.
Yeah. I don't think that it's strategy at all. I think she's really emotional. And like Morgan said, I think she would be justifying her actions in the DR if it actually was strategy. The only reason I could think that it would be strategy is in more of the fan engagement and audience engagement, because it is good TV. She's a likable person. She's relatable. And later on the episode, in this episode, it was revealed that there is some audience engagement, which might work in Tamar's favor. But I think that all in all, she's just an emotional person. and I think it's hurting her. And I think that people are looking for any reason to get rid of people early on in the game. Whenever it was Jonathan and. Can we give spoilers?
We can say.
Spoil it, Charles.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
when it was
everyone knows. We've already given it away.
Yeah, when it was Jonathan and Ryan, like, they were strong competitors, whatever, but now it's just going to get down to, like, you're annoying or whatnot,
Yeah.
so.
Well,
What was Brandy's justification for it? Like,
well, she just said that she thought that it was because, like, you know, that she's trying to, like, blow. And here's what to make the point I think that she was trying to make. She reminds me of Josh from BB19.
Oh.
Because Josh is so, like, he was so, like, he would blow up, but
Volatile.
everyone thought he was so harmless. No one thought of him as a threat. No one saw him, you know, even though he would, like, as opposed to someone like Lolo, who I think is, you know, if she gets mad enough, like, she'll win every competition and, like, get you out of the house. Tamar, I think, is not that I don't think she could win all these comps, but I just, for some reason, I just feel like she's harmless in a way. She's seen as harmless. Maybe she's not harmless.
But on the list of
People are
harmless
scared of
people,
her.
I feel like on the list of harmless people.
But I'm way more scared of Lolo than I am of Tamar, in my opinion.
You know what? Lolo is like a freaking sleeper agent.
Yeah.
Like she activates, and I'm like, who is this?
Yeah.
Who is this person?
Yes.
Yeah. But I think
Yes.
Tamar, she's harmless, but I think people may be scared of her because she will kind of go off.
Right.
I just think
She'll reach you.
I just hope that because I really like her and I think that she's potentially could, like, go really far. I just hope that she can, you know, like, either get that. I don't know. I just think it's if it is strategy, it's really good. But we have not seen a lot of people being strategic in the diary room, as we were saying. You know, where there's not a lot of people that are being like, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you know.
Except Jonathan. We saw how
And that
worked
was
out.
short-lived.
Yeah. It lasted about 12 minutes.
I know that's
Unfortunately.
that is just I still don't understand. I mean,
No.
I guess that was the right move.
I
you
just
know,
think
but-
this is going to
It
be an
was.
emotional season because they don't know the game as much. So
Yeah.
it's like, instead of strategy, we're going to get a lot of people playing with their emotions. And I guarantee you, every single person in that house votes emotionally
Yes.
instead of strategically.
Yes.
Well, so just to shout out real quick, our live chat, Joseph Bozo said that seeing the HOH comp live was so unique. He said Joey was whining, Kato wanted to win so damn bad without beating them. Okay. Austin said that he agreed that Kato could have handled the whole situation better. And then Carlitos Way, hey, new viewer, said Tamar is a drama queen.
Yes.
Yes.
We
all
love
know
it.
that.
Love
We
it
all know
so
that.
much. It's so good TV.
Okay, so then we saw a formation of yet another alliance. This is with Tom, Kato, Natalie, Eva Marie, and Lolo. And Lolo talks about pivoting. So Charles, I wanted to ask you, like, what do you think about, you know, is it time, do you think, for these people to pivot and to make this new alliance, or is this still too early?
I don't think it's too early. I think
They're not spreading themselves too thin?
with 4 people.
I mean, just like because they have multiple
have
alliances
multiple
now.
Well,
No, I don't think they're spreading themselves too thin. Whenever I saw this alliance, I thought it was a strong one because, I would never expect them to work together. I think they're a good mix, and I think they have their hands in every part of the house. So they can decide as a group who they want to pick off, and they have the power to lull that person into trusting at least one member of the alliance so they don't suspect anything, and then take them out. I think it's a strong one, and I'm thinking that they'll do some big things.
Who do you guys think can go further out of the two pairs? Who will go further?
I think
yeah. I definitely say Tom and Kato
Or
only
Eva
because they can
and Em.
ride under the radar because they're
Right.
less threatening. But the other alliance, honestly, I mean, you eliminated the first 2 weeks the 2 main people in the alliance, so that wasn't going to last. And I think that Tom and Jonathan and Ryan were just too strong with the 2 strong girls. They all had just strong minds. My only downfall for that newly formed alliance is I just wanted them to wrap in Tamar.
Me too.
Yeah.
And
And
actually,
they,
whenever I was
they could.
Yeah.
You know,
I
we
know,
don't
but
know.
they didn't with the little.
Oh, you mean like the
Like they didn't originally, you know.
Yeah.
It's kind of like when Natalie came to the room
Yeah.
talking about
Oh
what
my
should be
God.
her final 2
That was
names,
so
and
great.
Tamar was still sitting
That was
there.
the best.
See, I think Nem and Lolo, I think they are spreading themselves too thin. Because think about it.
agree. I
Now
agree.
they're working with Kato and Tom, and then I heard on the feeds that now they're trying to bring Ricky in. Okay, so that's another person. But then they have Tamar kind of on the side still. So who does that leave to target? You have Dina and Joey and
Candy.
Candy. So it's like you're running out of
Yeah.
people. So what
True.
happens if one of them wins the veto or something like that? Then you have to start attacking your own numbers. And I was just like, to me, it's a little too early. Like, I feel like they're getting a little, like they're trying to play too hard. Like, you wait a couple more days. I know it's a short season, but I think it's going to bite them in the butt.
Question for you. I want to know what you think, Bryce, too. But I'm sorry. What do you think, though, about people covering all of their sides? Playing both sides, and everyone comes to the point to where they have to say, okay, you know what, I have to decide this or that. But right now, I feel like they're in sweet water, and I don't even know what sweet water
I
is.
feel like,
Down in Texas.
Sounds like it sounds like a river rafting company is what it sounds
amazing.
like.
It's a town in
That's
Texas.
really, really nice. It's probably what that pool, it's probably what's in that pool.
I mean, I think if it was one person and they were kind of playing more of like a floater game or something like that, but I think Nem and Lolo are such strong females in the house, like, and they're a partner, they're a pair, so it's like they're gonna work together. So you're gonna see them with these people, you're gonna see them with that. I was like, to me, it's just I think they're too strong of personalities and too strong of players to be spreading themselves with everyone in the
But
house.
do you think that
Interesting.
Tom and
Kato
are going to like advise them as to what to do? Because Tom knows the game. Is he going to like tell them, hey, maybe you shouldn't do A, B, and C? Because he did mention to them we probably shouldn't be seen hanging out together.
I mean, but here's the thing, and here's what I think with Lolo and Nem, what they're doing. I think for this week, they are going to play with, like, Kato and Tom, but I don't think they're going to stay loyal to them. I think they were just doing that kind of on a week-by-week basis.
Like, why not?
Yeah, like, why not take this deal now? It could help us out, but I don't think they're going to stay loyal to them. I think they're just using them because it's an easy
But
thing
Tom and
right
Kato
now.
have proven themselves as stronger. I mean,
Yeah.
they
I think
won
you're
like
gonna stay with them. That's my prediction.
ooh.
What do you think,
I
Bryce?
think that I agree with you to an extent, but I think that they are too. I think you can do what they're doing. I don't think that they're spreading themselves. I think that they're spreading themselves too thin in the sense of I think they're too emotional people to
Right.
play. If it were Tom and Kato making alliances and deals all throughout the house, I think that they would have the emotional capacity to be able to handle and manage everything. I don't know that Lolo and Nem have that in them because I think they will get too roped into whatever drama is happening in between all these people, and they're going to have a hard time choosing who they're going to stay loyal to.
I think they're going to embrace the mission and really be loyal.
I think Nem could. I think she could. I think Lolo is, as we've seen, pretty hot-tempered. So I think she's going to have the issue because it seems like she just kind of pops off at any random moment.
Right,
Whereas
so
I
true.
think if Nem wasn't with her, she would have a more successful
Yes.
time in
Yeah.
this.
But off of what you said, Bryce, you say emotionally they have the capacity. What about morally? Because
Yeah.
Kato, to me, he's
That's
just
a good
too
point.
honest
Yeah.
to make
Yeah.
all these alliances. So I think that he's going to stay true
Well,
to that
I think we
four.
get to like a Tyler situation or a Ross from last year.
Yeah,
We get to a
yeah.
situation. It's almost circumstantial and individual how they handle the situation. Because if you're Ross, like who played a very masterful puppeteer game, but you don't own it at the end. Same with Tyler. If you
Yeah.
don't really own it totally.
gonna
Then you
lose.
kind of and that's what I meant to ask. That's what I meant to ask Brandy yesterday. Like, how do you manage expectations? In the jury, we've seen this happen now like 3 times where we have 4 times where we've had bitter juries every time.
Who would have thought that
Well-
Kato Kalin would be the Ross of this season? Kato.
I
Kato
did.
wins the
No, I'm just
veto.
kidding.
Kato win the veto.
Yeah.
Throw my TV out the window.
Right. Well, speaking of Kato, we saw him successfully, as he said numerous times, that he was going to backdoor Ryan Lochte. We saw him backdoor Ryan, and
Ew.
So sad.
Well, I mean,
knew you were
who
going-
did y'all
yeah.
want to leave? I'm sorry. Y'all
I
keep
wanted
saying
Dina to
this.
leave. I
Okay.
definitely did not want Tamar to
Okay.
leave. I think she's gold on the show.
Yes.
Yeah.
But to me, Dina doesn't add anything.
Dina doesn't do nothing.
She does nothing. So it's like I see
Nothing.
maybe
Nothing.
why they want to keep her,
they would, they're
She's
never
the
going to go.
wild
They're
but
card.
not
I
gonna
don't
go
want
rid of
her to stay.
Dina's a wild card, though. You don't really know what she's
She
going to
is.
do.
Because she's just there. She hasn't talked game. She doesn't make any
She's worn
alliances.
some really high heels, some impossibly high heels that
Ooh,
first
Dina?
night. Yes.
Oh.
You can see.
How did you notice
Nobody
that?
was looking.
Oh my God! If I see a 52-year-old
Nobody.
woman in heels over 3 inches, I'm gonna notice. Okay.
Can I say
like,
something
oh my
real
God.
quick?
Yes.
So it's so interesting that those who are strong Big Brother fans like Tamar and Tom. So Tom in the After Dark, he's admitted to, I'm getting confused. Y'all tell me if it's After Dark or live show. He's admitted to being too open about his knowledge within the Big Brother home. Okay, maybe it was After
I think
Dark.
that's After Dark, yeah.
And it was so interesting because he was talking to Kato and he was like, oh, like I think I gave myself away because he was basically saying like, oh, it would be good strategy to do X, Y, and Z. He keeps saying that and he's like, I don't want people to think I'm always thinking about strategy. And then last night's After Dark, he was saying, oh yeah, he was playing pool with a whole group of people. He's like, oh yeah, that actually reminded me of season 10 when Paul, he was naming seasons, naming people. He was like, yeah, they were playing pool. It's so funny. And when the pickle juice, you remember when the pickle juice got thrown in the eye? He remembered that exact scenario. And they're looking at him like they don't know what he's talking about.
Well, maybe
and
it's going over their heads,
ooh,
though.
like it's just, you're just too deep and too specific. So I don't know how long he's going to be able to downplay his knowledge.
that's something that like Tamar, someone like Tamar, or someone who knows the game, should pick up and even her. And that's what I was going to say. Last thing I'll say about Tamar is that that's something that I thought of last week with the whole like final two thing. She needs to put that in. She needs to like backlog that and remember like I saw you have a final two and hold that and use it against that.
She needs to start using like plotting the other people against those two because at some point they need to start taking care of the pairs. Because if not, those pairs are going to make it to the end.
Right.
Or what I would do is use it as a strategy to get in. So if you note, I think I may have said this last week, but if you notice that they have a final two, just wrap yourself in.
Yeah,
like, that's fine.
Tamar and
final
Tom
two.
could be a good alliance.
And they were so cute. She called him Mr. Green. Like, I don't know what happened to that.
I stand that storyline.
They're the only two people.
He should have saved her with that veto.
The only two people who know the game, they can really be the puppet masters.
Come on, BB Squad. Let's speak it.
Wait, does Lolo know the game? Do we know?
Think so.
All Lolo knows
She knows
is how to
competition.
slap Tamar.
Lolo, she knows how to see red.
Oh, I just almost did it. And
she knows how to see red.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And jump over.
But then did she really slap?
No, I don't think she
Okay,
did.
because the feeds look like it went dark when they start to get into the little. They're like, be right back.
Don't you worry.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about that later. Let's say that. Let's say that.
Stay tuned.
I do want to ask you guys about Ryan because I know that everyone has a pretty strong opinion about him. I mean, I turned out to like I think a lot of people I've seen online too are like I have never thought I would love Ryan Lochte so much or like not want him to get evicted. But I don't know that I don't know if he's like a complete doofus or a genius mastermind, like or somewhere in between, because he knew everything. I mean, he knew that the girls were in an alliance. True. He knew that like not to trust Lola or Kato. He said all these things, and it was like. But the other thing and here's the thing that makes me think he's either a doofus or a genius, is the fact that he went to Kato twice and said, I know that I'm going to be on the block. I know that I'm a huge target. I know this. I know that. And I was talking to some other people about this. I'm like, why would you do that? And then it's like it's either brilliant or it's insanely stupid. And I just don't. I mean, obviously he got evicted, but I don't know that it was.
How is it insanely stupid to approach Kato if he knows he's on the block?
No, he wasn't on the block though.
Right, he said.
But he knows I'm a
block.
target. Like if he knows he's a
But
target,
y'all
which
are
he
saying
was.
both of y'all are making the exact like two good points at the same time. It's so stupid for him to say, "Hey, I know I'm a big target. I know I'm a big." It almost as if he is giving him permission to put him up. Because it's like I'm already acknowledging it. I'm taking away the heat of you having to approach me.
Right.
Well, what he should have done if he did bring that up was try and I feel like cut a deal or be like, "Hey,
flip
man."
it.
Yeah, let me flip this on you. I heard like I'm a target, whatever. Let's make a deal to where like keep me and I'll help you out next week. Instead, Ryan, this is why I think he's a little bit of a doofus. He just kind of like was like, all right, I'll pack. So I'm like,
yeah, he volunteered himself almost instead of being like, you know what, who's really annoying in this house, Tamar. I mean, he could have like
done
flipped
that.
it. But he didn't. But to answer your question, Bryce, I think that he's so funny, like in the diary rooms, but I think that he is not smart at this game because even the things that he figured out, they were literally on display right in front of him. He didn't figure out nothing. Lolo literally flicked him off. The four of them were literally outside with the door slid open talking about backdooring him. Yeah. So
we already had such low expectations of his intelligence. I mean, sorry to say, we had low expectations. So like it's like whenever he performs at an average level, it's like he must be a genius.
I just feel like that was so ballsy for him. But I agree. I just feel like it's so ballsy that it almost would work out in your face. Like if somebody did that to me, I would almost, if I were Kato, which I mean, obviously that's why he's smarter and probably still in the house. But I would be like, wow, you're that like, you're just calling me out basically. That I'd be like, I'm almost impressed by that.
He's probably scared.
What almost makes me wonder, I wonder if production drops hints because, like in the DR, like they ask you questions, and sometimes the questions are loaded.
This is the scoop, guys.
To kind of make
Oh,
you be
yeah.
like, well,
Let me
what
text
do you
my roommate.
think?
Hang on, he works on the show.
Well,
Let me just
you
see
were-
what he
Wait,
said.
we haven't actually.
What did you think of this situation, or
Yeah.
did you hear this, and this? So I'm wondering if they have maybe asked
know what
him
they
some
probably-
loaded
That's
questions.
what they say.
Well, I mean,
like you can kind of
You know
get
what they
the
probably
gist
said?
of the game if you really listen to the questions they ask you. You can kind of be like, all right,
They're
like,
probably like, hey,
I'm
so
understanding what's going on
I
a little
just
bit.
wonder, one question I have, like when Tamar's in there or if Candy's in there, are they like, you know what? Tamar was super honest about her opinion about you. What do you think about her? Like, I wonder if that's the kind of stuff that they say.
Because they probably asked Ryan, they were probably like, so you were aligned really closely with Jonathan,
Mm-hmm.
and he was the target last week. Who do you think the target is going to be this
Right,
week,
it's like
Ryan?
questions like that
Sure, these are
can
great questions.
easily be phrased, and then it's like, I mean, I feel like they want him to say this
Well,
too,
it's
because like
kinda-
it makes great TV
Yeah.
when
And
you
it's-
hear Ryan being like, oh
You're
my god,
right.
he's on to something.
Yeah.
Because it was kind of the way
It's
Julie was
Ryan.
talking to Ryan at the end of the show. She was like, so Ryan, what happens when you align with somebody who's evicted? Ryan's like, well, I guess they would go after me.
Can I just say that
Right.
Julie's exit interviews during the celebrity seasons are the absolute best
They're
because there's
funny.
no sequester. She can actually say, this
Yeah.
was your
Yeah,
dumbass
yeah,
move,
yeah.
and I'm so here for
and
it.
she calls it, yeah, that's what she did with it. And she's like, tell me where you went wrong. And he's
Yeah.
like, I was wrong from the beginning. You're like,
like,
oh my God, all
Like,
right.
Yeah.
no, here it is.
It's
But one thing I
hysterical.
can appreciate about Ryan is during the HOH comps, I felt like I was there because of him. He was giving us like sideline commentary.
He was
He's like,
good.
he's like, that's sugar. It's sweet. It tasted good. Or brr, like that blowy thing. That's actually cold. I was like, I feel like I'm there, Ryan. Thanks.
I know, he was like all of us. He was like all
was
of
like a
Twitter
sideline
in one
reporter.
person.
Great
Yeah.
TV.
That was
Very
really good.
sad.
Okay, so let's move on to news because we have a lot of it.
Oh, yes. Come on.
News.
Brianna, our amazing producer.
Okay, so obviously we have heard everyone is buzzing about
Yes.
Big Brother
Oh.
Celebrity, but guys,
Yes.
they're not always getting it right. So I'm going to go over some
Yeah.
things that are seemingly true. Some people think it's not true, but whatever. These are all like very trendy. So
Okay.
first, let's talk about the mooch quitting. Obviously, it is very, very polarizing because
Well,
from what-
allegedly quitting. Let's just say
Allegedly,
that.
let's say allegedly quitting. Because from what I have gathered on Twitter is almost everyone, I will say, thinks that he quit, and this is CBS's horrible way
Of-
of covering it up. Because, like, oh, it would look really bad if he quit. Like, let's cover it up and do a really awkward veto competition that you can tell was set up 20 minutes before because it was so easy and so random. Clearly, you know what side I take on that issue.
Well, wait, yeah, what do you think? I mean, you feel
I
that
think
it
he
was.
quit. I think he
Oh,
quit.
interesting.
And
That veto competition didn't look like it was. It was like a huge set with
No,
headlines.
but think about it. Like, a lot of the competitions are builds, especially for Celebrity Big Brother. They go all out and they get costumes and all this, and they usually build something. That was literally a blank wall, and they just had giant printouts, and they stuck them to a wall.
Okay,
I thought
but
that looks kind of nice.
so my opinion on that though is all of those little hints that he planted, because the whole time I was thinking the mooch is really trying to be funny with these little one-liners that aren't. So the whole time, but those all came into
Yeah.
the game. So
See, I was
it,
thinking that too.
I'm so torn.
I feel like it was a publicity stunt on behalf of CBS to get the attention from the White House without him actually having to commit to the whole
Okay,
4 weeks.
here's my last point, because so basically the mooch did an article with Entertainment Weekly, and he said, listen, I absolutely did not quit the game. The producers from day one pitched me the idea of becoming a twist in the show. I have to confess to you that they turned me into a super fan. Hold up. But I hadn't really seen the show prior to them pitching me. So my wife and I looked at it and I said, you know what? It looks like a lot of fun. It fits into my schedule. I got to tell you, these
3
producers
days.
are world-class people. So I was like, I'm going to do it. But here's my thing is, they didn't turn him into a super fan because he started following the whole cast of Big Brother a year ago. If you weren't a super fan or weren't trying to
Ooh.
study the
Come on,
the
Dirk.
game, you wouldn't be following like Caitlyn from BB20 on Twitter. You just wouldn't. Also, what was my point? Oh, and then he made a point. They asked him in this article, they're like, well, what would have happened if you would have been HOH or you would have won the veto and then you were leaving that day? Did they tell you not to win? And he goes, no, like I could do whatever I want. Like I didn't play as hard and all this stuff. And I'm like, if he was a giant twist, they would have been like, you're not allowed to win HOH, because had he won that week, he couldn't have just left in the middle of an HOH. There's just like a lot of facts missing, I felt like, for him to be this giant twist.
I feel they
Wow.
didn't have to prep him to lose a comp because the way he was riding that donkey, he
Yeah.
wasn't about to win.
It's just so I just feel like if he was a twist, he would have covered and been like, "You're right. I was there to just be a house guest, kind of just shake up the house. I couldn't win. They told me I wasn't allowed to, like, go all out because if he had been HOH, it wouldn't have fit in like the schedule of what if he had to leave, you
Right.
know?
Well, I mean, we talked to him too at Entertainment Tonight. We talked to him, and he said it seemed genuine to me.
Really?
That it was. However, that being said, I am very skeptical of this too because Big Brother is notorious for like squeezing these twists out like no other. Like even if they were something, even if it was as small as he's going home or whatever, like they would have said there is someone in the house that is not a real house guest. But prior to the beginning of the season,
Right, they
would
love
have
that
teased. They
stuff.
would have teased this. I really believe it. So the fact that he's
Yeah,
just
you're
like walking
right.
out the door is very, very skeptical to me. However, that being said, it is Celebrity Big Brother. It is Expect the
different.
Unexpected.
I think that
It
they
could
just
be
couldn't
different.
book him for the whole season.
And he may.
That's what I think,
But see, a lot of
honestly.
people thought that too. Maybe it was a prior engagement that he just
Right.
couldn't get out of, so they made this twist. I don't think that in terms of what you're saying about what they asked him in the article, what he said was that he didn't know that. I mean, no matter what, they would have had a way to get him out. So, like, if he were the HOH, they would have had another HOH competition. Or if he if he was, whatever.
They would've
If
just
he wasn't in the veto,
Yeah.
they would have had another competition regardless of what is what.
Or like
Yeah.
giving it to like the second place person or something.
Yeah.
So I
Because,
mean,
yeah.
I mean, I would love to know. I mean, I think it was a cool twist if it
Yeah.
were if it.
I mean, interesting. We'll never know until someone hacks Alison Grodner's computer, which will probably never happen. But my last fake news story, obviously everyone heard, you even brought it up earlier, the Lolo Jones and Tamar drama. Someone reported, I actually have the account that did report this. It's
Epic
reality
reality TV. I love
no,
that
I
account.
got this one. I think was before. I think. I think.
Hey Bree, can we pull up the Lolo Tamar Big Brother fight if you can find it?
I
So you can
think
show
it
some
was
people.
an account that was called BB20 Jeff
Oh,
because
yes. Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes,
Sorry.
it was them,
Sorry.
right?
So yeah, they screenshotted BB20 Jeff Epic
There
Reality
you
TV
go.
did.
Yeah, so BB20
Wow,
Jeff.
that was my mind working that you
Guys,
just saw.
he has 0 followers. He has 0 followers.
Okay, well,
None.
that's the first
And all
indication.
these news outlets got a hold of this and believed it. So basically, BB20 Jeff with no followers.
followers.
What?
Said Lolo Jones has been removed from the house for slapping Tamar's
Yeah,
glasses
that
off.
was the exact.
Yeah.
And even
Quote.
I got sent this by like a random fan account, and I freaked out, and I believed it, and I
Yeah.
told all my friends,
Yeah.
which I shouldn't
And
have.
I tagged all of y'all in the
Yeah.
tweet.
Yeah, that's what I
yeah.
knew, and I was like, "What?"
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then all these
No worries,
news
Bree.
outlets, so ET Canada, Us Weekly, they all tweeted out articles basically saying like ET even said, "Bye-bye Tamar Braxton. She is the latest guest to leave the Big Brother house after a major
Lolo.
fight."
There
Which
wasn't even an eviction.
Which that
Right.
wasn't right because it was Lolo,
Lolo.
who was the
Right,
violent one.
so
So
everyone
ET
got it
Canada
wrong.
was wrong. Us Weekly said that Lolo got kicked out. So basically, this is journalism in 2019.
Yeah.
We got
that
punked.
a fake Twitter account,
Fake news.
all of a sudden,
amazing.
everyone reported it, but
Well,
it's not
really
true.
amazing.
And
Trump will be
Lolo,
happy.
You guys, but did you
Still in the
see
house.
that fight? First of all, Tamar
Insane.
looked like she just, like raided Sia's closet, and Lolo looked like the monster from The Village. M. Night Shyamalan's The
Lolo
Village.
Yeah.
looked like some Olympian.
Like
Lolo,
both of them somehow look like Lady Gaga. I don't
cray-cray.
understand. It was so insane.
cray-cray.
Like she looked like she had like solar paneling on her face. I
Yeah.
was just.
Tamar.
And this was the
She actually just
they
removed her
have so
skin. It was
many
the robot.
arguments, but this was the one over what I believe happened. Tamar wanted to
Oh.
know about the convo because Lolo and Natalie were up until like 4:30 talking
To Dina.
And,
No,
and
to Dina.
Tamar. Well, no, because at the time it was just the two of them, and they walked into the room, and Tamar all wide and open, like, "Oh, okay, so what y'all been talking about?" Lolo wanted to include Tamar more into the convo and was like, "Oh, by the way, I had a conversation with Dina. That's why she said I didn't even get to the bread and butter because I wanted to start you off here." And I do feel like Tamar cut her off without, but it's Tamar's personality. She was kind of joking, like, "Oh, she lying." And then Lolo was like, "Well, she's not lying because I'm the one that talked to her." So I think that they're just too aggressive to take each other jokingly.
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
I think they're just
Oh,
two
yeah, that's
very
the one.
strong personalities
Yeah,
that
look
should
how
not be
insane they
staying in a
look.
room together.
Yeah.
No, they
Separate
definitely
yourself.
shouldn't.
True.
Bryce, do you want me to pull it up for you?
Sure, yeah. Let's watch part of this.
Also,
Yeah.
I want to know
The
what.
So
end.
good. It's so
She
good.
screams so loudly.
Oh,
like
it
is
was so embarrassing.
Why the fuck would I not get mad till you do this every motherfucking day?
Oh, we didn't hear the cursing in the episode.
I'm sorry, what?
I'm sorry, what?
Like,
Oh my god.
what is she wearing?
I have glasses similar to those.
Like the Back to the Future?
Those are really popular
yeah,
in
I'm
Asia.
gonna take like a fly photo, y'all. aren't
Yeah,
even
please
ready.
do.
Yeah,
And
no,
then
those are
can you
actually
do a
pop-
side by side and put it in your Power of
I
Tweeto?
won't be bold, but yeah.
Those are really popular in like Asian countries.
So this goes on for a while,
Yeah.
and there was a lot of speculation that one of both
there it is,
or
yeah.
everybody.
They said that Lolo slapped Tamar's glasses off, and
We'll
look,
be right
we don't
back.
see
There
it
it is.
because
Yeah.
Big
We'll be
Brother
right
cut
back.
it.
Yep.
Unless it was a leak and that happened, but I doubt it. Lolo not crazy. She
No.
cray, but she's not crazy.
She
you
wouldn't
guys-
do that.
We
Yeah.
also have to remember too that again these people are celebrities. They have it's not just like regular people. And I mean not to say that I say that in the nicest way, but there are exceptions, and they have to protect these people in a certain way. So the thing about the Scaramucci, going back to that and this as well, they are public figures, and yes, it's hard for regular people to go into that house and then come out, especially if they've like ruined their lives. But this is I'm just saying. But if everybody. If you're a public figure, you have an obligation, and you are unfortunately just placed under this. So the fact that Scaramucci was, if that turns out to be that he quit or whatever, maybe it's just to protect it. I mean, and I know a lot of people would be mad about that too if they didn't want people to protect him or anything.
But you know damn well if Tamar got her glasses slapped off, she would be demanding Lolo be removed.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's like if
There's
something
no way.
happened,
Yes.
Tamar would not be on board with protecting Lolo's ego
Yeah,
and
sure.
reputation.
But
At
we may
all.
never know what the catalyst was
Right.
for that happening. Like, she got mad, whatever. I mean, she self-evicted.
Also-
we may not know the ever full story.
True.
Side note, whenever Lolo came in to apologize to Tamar, did everybody see the sandwich that she had made? What was that
I
sandwich?
know it looked like ice cream
It
between.
looked like an ice cream,
Two
like
pieces of bread.
Yes.
I was like,
How did you guys notice that? Because I literally noticed that, and I was like,
I was like, ew, and then I kept going.
she walked in with the food. I was like, "What's that food?" And then she put it on the bed. And I was like,
wasn't gonna
I
say
did not notice
anything.
that.
I wasn't going to say
It looked
anything.
like-
I
Yes.
can't believe you guys noticed
It
that.
looked like a really thick tuna sandwich.
Okay, you guys,
Disgusting.
we got to wrap this up. But so I want to know, but we got to go to Power Tweeter, and then we have to ask what Morgan would do. So
Okay,
let's
yes,
keep
yes.
moving. Let's
Shout
move
out
quick.
real quick to Darcy Taylor. Thank you for viewing. He said that the duo between Tamar and Tom is ingenious. So yay.
Oh, good.
Your
yeah.
BB squad got your back. Okay. So, Power of Tweeto. First up, Tracy says, so you can be a celebrity for being a witness in a trial?
Oh,
There
that's
you
Morgan's
go. That's
favorite
talking about
tweet. That's a
Kato.
zing.
Really?
Yes.
Why is he here? Is like 700 followers on Twitter. I'm sorry.
Exactly. Okay,
'Cause
next,
that's what matters.
Danny, one of our favorites from the past, well, Evil Dick's daughter, says these pre-existing feuds are exactly the reason we need all-stars.
Oh,
hey,
Because
that's
good.
she came in
That's
the
a
house
good
with her
idea.
dad pre-existing, that blew up, and now we have this
Exactly,
wonderful
yeah.
celeb BB because of old relationships.
my
Say
God,
it, girl.
Mm-hmm.
And lastly, our favorite Andy. How dare Kato mention Tamar's son 6 months after Rockstar's daughter's birthday? Disgusting.
That is my favorite
good.
tweet ever.
Yes.
Ever.
Guys, if
Why
you've been
did-
rolling with us, you know how funny that is.
That's
oh my
good.
god.
Why?
That is
That is
good.
hysterical.
How dare they?
How
Okay,
dare.
now we are going to move on to our segment. What would Morgan do?
No.
Yes.
However,
No pressure.
I came up with something, but if you guys have a question or you would want to know what Morgan would do, please feel free to ask.
go
This is
ahead.
what I want to know.
Okay.
Kind of moving backwards, if you were in Kato's shoes
Okay.
and you were HOH and you became the HOH, would you have made the same? Would you have targeted Ryan, or would you have gone after your original nominees?
I would have gone after the original nominees. I would have made Dina, I think, feel a little bit more secure, especially like if she wasn't going to go anywhere and she wasn't the target. Make her feel that way because she's going to work with you in the future. Like, that's key. I feel like a lot of people in this house don't communicate. And that's literally, it takes a simple conversation to make someone feel comfortable, because that's all you have in this house. You're so paranoid. It is so easy to take one tiny little thing and twist it into something that it's not. So I would have been better at communicating on, hey, like, don't worry this week, you're good. And then I feel like him talking to Tamar probably would have gone nowhere, but I still would have probably talked to her too and been like, hey, here's the thing, like I have this plan, I'm not going to fill you in on everything, but just know that you're secure.
It would have changed everything.
It would have changed everything had he just spoken to them. And then if I was in his shoes, I'm trying
Do you
to
think
think what I
Ryan
want.
is the biggest target? Was it the biggest target in the house?
That's 100% what I disagree with. I, for some reason, don't understand why everyone thinks Ryan is such a big target. He won the first HOH.
But was he an easy target?
That's a different question.
Yeah, but maybe
he's
the
an
more
easy
relevant
target,
one.
yes, because I think now that Jonathan went home and they were a duo, it's easy to be like, well, he went home, so now let's get him out, and then we're good to go. But when you think about it, Ryan's not the brightest bulb.
Yeah.
Like, target someone else like Lolo, or even Nem, I think, is, like, very smart. But Ryan is just like a golden retriever, and he would be so easy, I feel like, to manipulate in this game. So, I don't know. If I was Kato...
Okay.
I think I would have tried to back
Yeah, I
up
think that's
someone
good.
else.
I think that's good.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
So I was interested this episode in Joey's play and interaction with everybody because he seemed the closest to Ryan.
Mm-hmm.
If you were in Joey's position, or if I was Joey, I would be a little nervous because I feel like I could be the next target if Jonathan and Ryan leave.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think you would have done had you been Joey in terms of salvaging like Ryan's relationship with Kato? Would you go and speak for Ryan? Would you expose
No.
that you're close
Or even-
to Ryan?
or even-
how would you save Ryan if
Yeah.
you're Joey?
I would have started planting seeds with other people to try and get in somewhere. Especially if you know Ryan's going home. I don't think campaigning for Ryan's going to help. I only think that's going to put a bigger target on your back by being like, well, he's best friends with Ryan.
Yeah.
He was probably close with Jonathan. So once Ryan goes, let's just go for Joey. I would kind of start planting and be like, like me and Ryan aren't that close. Like, let me try and get in with someone else. Because now I feel like he really is alone. But at the same time, does Joey...
Really
I
wanna
mean,
do that?
does he really want to be there? Like,
Is he even
was
playing the game?
complaining
I
in
know.
the comp. He went up to Kato at the end of this episode and was like, man, just use me as a pawn if you want. Like,
I know.
if you wanted to be in the game, you would never
And
volunteer as a
Joey's
pawn.
like, he's like, do I need a pack? Say yes.
Yeah.
Right.
Let me go home.
My favorite Joey moment is literally during the HOH comp when they were having all that slime thrown. He turns and said, "Is this green gonna like stain my skin?" You're concerned if the green is going to.
Jessica loves Joey, y'all.
Yeah.
She thinks he
Oh
is
no, he is so
fine.
fine, but
Okay.
he is not playing this game well.
All right, you guys, let's really quickly go into our predictions.
Your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
I'll save the question that I was going to ask for this for our show on Wednesday, but I want to know really quickly, who do you want to win HOH? Who do you want to win?
Ooh, I want Tamar.
I
I want
would
Tamar.
love that.
I want Tamar to win HOH.
I want Tamar to win HOH, and I want Tamar to win the power of publicist.
Power of the
that's the
publicist.
question.
Oh, that was?
No. That was a question that I wanted to,
Yeah.
that I want to ask because I
Yeah.
don't know if we're going to find out by Wednesday what
I
that
don't
is.
know. It's like
I think.
2-day voting.
Oh, I don't know. I don't
But
know.
guys, you have to vote by tweeting. You don't go
Yeah.
online. You have to tweet
Hashtag BB,
CBB name of house guest. CBB name of house guest. Go to our Twitters. We're gonna vote
Yeah, yeah.
ours tonight
I
when we
already
get off the
voted.
show. I'm voting CBB. Tamar,
Tamar.
save her.
Yeah.
For 2
She's
weeks.
gold. She needs to save
like
the show.
we need for her. Yeah.
Yeah.
I need those laughs.
I
Those
want
gut laughs.
I want Candy to win HOH.
Oh,
by the
that
way.
would
Really?
be interesting.
Yeah, I want Candy to win. I think
Because
that'll
I have
be-
no clue what she would do.
That's
That
what I
is.
said. so I
Someone
think it's
mentioned in
interesting.
here, they're like,
interest in
she's playing a
celebrities
good
winning.
game because we're not talking about her.
I know. You got to always remember those people that we're not talking about. All right, you guys, that's it. We're going to
This
be
was
here.
so much fun.
We're going to be here
Yeah.
on Wednesday again at 10 p.m. We're going to talk after the next episode. We may even be talking strategy with a former Big Brother house guest.
I'm getting
That's
excited.
a tease. That's a tease for you. For now, let's say our goodbyes. You can find me on Instagram and Twitter at Bryce Advice. Morgan?
You can find me on Twitter at Morgan_Willett, or if you want to get crazy and ask me some questions on Instagram, at Morgan Lee Willett.
Get crazy. And you can find me on Twitter at Miss Jessica WW and on Instagram at Miss Jessica Williams.
And my Instagram is one big question. It's at Charles Conoly, and my Twitter is at Charles Conoly too. Bye, y'all.
Thanks, guys. And from outside the Big Brother house and inside AfterBuzz TV studios, I'm Bryce McLeay. Good night.
Good
night.
Our founder, Keven Undergaro, and me, Maria Menounos, would like to thank you for tuning in to AfterBuzz TV. Remember, we're not just the first, we're the biggest in the world, and we're the only destination for all your favorite TV shows. Whatever you crave, we've got it. So go to AfterBuzzTV.com and check out our lineup. Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.